Good morning, beautiful souls. Happy Saturday. It's Tim in the woods, and this is my final Ascension update of the year. I thought I'd wait until the actual last day, the 31st of December. And so many of us are kind of just coming through the holiday season and waiting for whatever 2023 might bring for us, and judging or gauging by the general look of the energy in the field out there at the moment, things are pretty much whatever we make of them or whatever we focus on them. There is as much chaos as there is peace. A lot of us are experiencing very, very physical symptoms at the moment. There is a massive collective upgrading, detoxing, light integration going on, and that was kind of to be expected, really. Those of us that thought, that me included, that it was possible to walk through a frequency shift of this magnitude completely unscathed, or maybe I was being a little bit hopeful, maybe a little bit expectant, because our bodies, in order to integrate all of this light, have to detox. You've heard me say this many times before, that a detox process is very much part of our evolution on a physical spiritual level. So all of this light comes in, we shift whatever is out of alignment, and the majority of the time that is old stuff. It's been buried deeply for not just this lifetime, but for generations. So in comes the light, the parts of the basement, the rooms, the corners, the shadow filled areas of our existences are lit up, and immediately the light, it will not coexist. It will not coexist with these lower vibrations. They will be dissolved, they will be alchemized, they'll be dissolved, they'll be kicked out to make room for the new higher frequency. So that is why many of us have got like this kind of rinse and repeat of the physical symptoms at the moment. And it all indicates to us how we take care of ourselves, not just when we talk about diet. A diet goes through everything that we do. A diet is our intake of everything. Now you only have to look, there's something going on in the UK at the moment which is just quite staggering, really. There's a certain very fashionable energy drink that people have been kind of repeating, the whole toilet roll thing, for where there are queues in the shops attempting to get their hands on this energy drink for themselves or for their children. And that's and again, those of us who have been watching all of this unfold are just again aware of how the programming of the matrix affects those that are still caught within it. And so it requires us really in a state of non-judgment to just be a candle, to hold that light. Now, being a candle, being that unwavering flame, being a torch for others, is where we are heading for this transition from the 31st of December into January the 1st, into this bright new year. Many of us have kind of had enough now. I've been talking in the previous updates. There are many souls who've done the past 10 years. They've done their decade shift, wearing the golden robe, assisting humanity. And although by no means are we retiring, the form and substance of our service is most definitely changing. Many of us are commanding easier circumstances, a release from the kind of the duties that we have been focusing upon, which require us to hold so much of the energy of others around us, and that's the biggest one. That's the one that's affected me. That's the one that kind of stereotypically tends to be the foundation of light work. First of all, we are activated into service, and that service is to assist the planet to step up. But for this next decade, for the beginning of the second half of the transition from 3D to 5D, it's going to require much more holding our frequency, holding our light. So when we regard ourselves as that pillar of light, that candle in the darkness, that flame needs to be steady. Say you are if you imagined yourself to be a candle, you've lit your wick and you are burning. You have an infinite quantity of wax with which to fuel the flame, but there are things that will blow or dim your candle light. Say a strong gust of wind, or a change of circumstances and temperature around you. All of these things can get the flame to flicker or to be blown out completely. So our job, our number one duty, is to guard our flame. Okay, not necessarily guard the flame as in the third dimensional concept of hunkering down and protecting, but to ensure that the flame is fed with the right environmental factors to let it to continue to burn brightly. So in order to be that flame, to allow the flame to be unwavering, we place ourselves in a situation where, yes, we have these factors around us that can make the flame waver or stutter, but it will never be blown out completely. And if for some reason the flame gets blown out, it can be relit again straight away. So first and foremost, our priority is our own light. The first priority is our own frequency. Walking into this next year coming, our frequency is paramount. Okay, everything, absolutely everything on this ascension pathway, this process, is led by frequency. It is led by vibration. So the vibration is going up, okay, and we are constantly and quite deliberately asked to look at things that are not of our vibration. We've had no choice in the matter. It is all around us. Now, the interesting thing about what is occurring as you are listening to this, you might be listening to this in real time, or you might be listening to it a bit later. You know, you might be on a part of the planet that is actually in the new year by the time you hear this message. There is this bottlenecking of frequencies, and this is going to be important. This is as prominent for what we are experiencing as anything. So the way I'm shown it, or the way I see it and perceive it, is almost like a toothpaste tube. So within the toothpaste tube, you've got 4 different spheres of reality, consciousness, vibration, 3D, 4D, 5D, and those of us that are holding the quantity or the quality of light that would be categorized as 6D in inverted commas. Everything is physical, okay? Once you get above a 5th dimensional vibration, much higher than it, then it becomes non-physical. But because we can reach up, because we can connect so high now, because we're working in harmony, in tandem with beings from the higher realms that we only had kind of brief and fleeting connections with now, a lot of us are holding a quantity of light which is much, much higher. So all of these frameworks of consciousness and vibration have all been mixed together in this toothpaste tube. Now, in order to get to your toothpaste, you have to squeeze the tube, and the tube will then narrow at the end, and the paste comes out in hopefully a little bit at the end, and you put it on your toothbrush. So this is what is occurring. All of these mixtures of energy are getting funneled through the tube at the end, the opening of the toothpaste tube and onto the toothbrush. Now the toothbrush is a strict set vibration, and this has been made very clear by the higher realms. I hope this analogy kind of assists with the picture a little bit. So you got your toothpaste on your toothbrush, and from that point it's set at a 5th dimensional frequency. That is the absolute that we are going to be experiencing energy wise from now onwards. It's been happening since the solstice. So the incident or the scenario that I'm describing regarding this popular drink in the UK, I'm not gonna name it. I think most of you know what I'm talking about if you live over here, or you might have seen it in the news feed. That is a indication of everything getting shaken up so much more, and we are going to see more of this. Okay, if we're expecting to walk next year into a 5th dimensional utopia, that's not going to happen. Everything needs to be realigned at this higher frequency. What is going to be remarkably different is that there is not going to be any buffering. There's not going to be any buffer zone for those that aren't in that frequency or haven't aligned with it yet. It's going to be much more, say, a forced process. So in a way you could look at it as if Mother Earth and the ascension process and everybody who are orchestrating it are now saying, right, you've had 10 years. You have had 10 years now to adapt, to basically align with this pathway, to align yourself with these new higher frequencies. That 10 years has now, it's up. So once you've gone through the end of the toothpaste tube and you're on the toothbrush, that's the set frequency. And for those that are still struggling, unfortunately, in whatever way, they are going to require our kindness. They're going to need our resolute flame. They're going to need that candle light supplied by us and our frequency and our vibration to light the way. Okay, so this doesn't mean we're going around with a dustpan and brush, clearing up everybody else's mess, helping with the messy energy. We hold our light, and we hold it strong and true. That resolute vibration, that flame, that unwavering flame. So if you see what the parameters of our mission are now, they're very different from the way that they've been. So before, we've been going around, we've been holding the pain of the world, we've been taking on these frequencies, these vibrations. They've been bogging us down. They've been actually making our lives considerably more difficult than they would necessarily need to be. But that has been our sole agreement. That's what we've agreed to do. And we've agreed to do that in order to clear the pathway, clear the karma. And a lot of it has been our own. We've carried a lot of karma into this lifetime, and we've made these agreements, and we've said, okay, in order to clear this quickly, I will be of service. And so a lot of our golden robe contracts, and if you wonder what I'm talking about with the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe, just watch my previous videos. They're available on YouTube or my website, timwild.com. And now the boundaries of service are changing. So we are that unwavering light, that resolute flame, and that's been coming through very strongly. So the brighter we shine, the steadier our light, the more we are able to alchemize those that are not yet holding that frequency to align with it, because that is where the planet is going. Okay, there's no more kind of, there's, like I say just a minute ago, the buffer, the space, the movement, the buffer zone has gone. So everything is now going to be forced through the tube at this higher frequency. And for those of you, for you and I, this works perfectly. This is what we've trained to do. This is what our vibration has been heading towards. It's our natural state. So if you're wondering what it's going to feel like functioning at this higher frequency, that is the natural order of things. Okay, that is the agreement that Gaia, Mother Earth, and all of us have made to step up. And living at a higher frequency, living in alignment with our hearts, is the state that we kind of like, our soul yearns for. You know, so we yearn for the peace, we yearn for the tranquility, the harmony, the beauty all around us, the ceasing of the perpetual kind of chaos and the muddiness of the politics and the conflicts and the poverty and the huge amounts of wealth that are in the wrong hands. All of these things that we are wishing for will come into a state of balance after the turbulence. Okay, so we hold our flames bright and resolute as everything realigns itself at this higher frequency. And the more we do this, the stronger we are, the more dedicated and the more focused we are, the quicker it will occur and the more smoothly it will occur. The whole plan for the next 10 years is to shift seamlessly from one frequency to another and take what we have that we've built or that we can use at this higher frequency with us. Anything that is not aligned with that frequency will before our eyes begin to disintegrate. And we've been seeing this going on now for 3 years, almost a controlled demolition of the structures around us that aren't aligned with the heart, that are still kind of based in ego. So it's going to be an interesting year, but first and foremost, light, that resolute flame, holding the resolute flame. Okay, we can all do it. It's our natural state. It's our instinct to do so as light workers, to be that pillar of light. Wherever your pillar of light is anchored, everything else around you anchors and rises to that frequency. That is the nature and the order of the vibration that we are holding. So rather than it just being a few of us dotted around the planet holding this light, which it was originally, okay, if you cast your mind back to 2012 to this moment 10 years ago, there were little pockets of us all scattered around the world, just beginning to communicate with each other, just beginning to realize that we're not alone. But the numbers were few and the pockets were isolated. And it was only when we started moving into this first part of the 10-year period that we began to connect with each other. We began to communicate. The light frequency communities began to connect and grow. And again, as I've said previously, we can thank social media for that. A lot of people are like, oh, social media bad, you know, but in actual fact, without the glories of Facebook, we wouldn't be in communication. We wouldn't have this ability to spread our light around the planet in the way that we have, which has been absolutely amazing. So 2023 is the year of the Resolute Flame, holding the light, holding it as bright and as clear as possible. And the training that we've had to retain that light without distraction is going to come into play. It already is. It already is. It's so easy to tune into what is going on in the media, the carnivals, the fanfares, and just look at it, and immediately we are emotionally invested in that. It drains our frequency, and we join that pool temporarily before removing ourselves, dusting off, and working on kind of restocking our light levels. But that can be quite draining, so it's best that we just focus on what we need to be focusing on now. So just wishing you all the most beautiful end of the year. It has been a roller coaster. Everyone I've been speaking to, everyone I've worked with over the course of this year, it's been up and down with big highs big amazing highs, but also lots of low points where it has felt like a struggle. So from my heart to yours, sending you all so much love, but also the resolute flame of my heart will also be burning in your hearts as well. All of us around the world, we're bright, we're visible, we're connected, we're a collective now. And so regardless of what we are seeing or hearing, or maybe being told by the more doom-mongery amongst us that it's all going to hell in a handcart, it isn't. Okay, everything is going exactly as it should be. And the wonderful confirmation that I had from Diana Cooper when we worked together in our last workshop a couple of Tuesdays ago, that we are actually ahead of schedule. As we've hit this halfway mark, we're 15% ahead of schedule for what we are looking to achieve. And if we play our cards right, by the time we move into the next part of 2023, we'll be 25% ahead of schedule. So we've done better than could ever be expected of us. And that's just going to increase and grow. All of us, united, strong, collectively unifying via the heart and working for the higher good of this planet. Sending you all lots of love, and see you on the other side. I'll be back on Monday morning on the other side of this gateway. And for those of you in the local area, I am speaking in Romsey on the evening of the 3rd. Jackie White, my lovely friend Jackie White, is organising my first talk of the year, and it's for positive living inspirations, and it's going to be in Romsey. The details will be here. So if you're local in the area and you haven't heard of it and you'd like to come along, I'll be speaking live, and it will be a 2-hour presentation on the practicalities of what we are likely to be experiencing this coming year. Sending you all so much love. Bye for now.